Okay, hi. We're going to do a bit of acupuncture today on one of our patients. He's called Dodger, and he's 11 years old, and he's a crossbreed. Unfortunately, Dodger's had a very busy and active life, and he now has arthritis in his hips and his spine. So he's suffering a little bit with pain and in his back, and he's a bit stiff when he gets up. We do give him pain relief, but we don't want to be doing that too much for him, especially as it can upset the function of the liver and the kidneys. So we're trying an alternative therapy with him, and we're going to try him on some acupuncture today. Acupuncture can be used for a variety of things, but mainly at Paragon we're using it for chronic pain. So what we do is we take an acupuncture needle, a very fine atraumatic needle, and we place the needle very gently into the skin and into the muscle and around the area that's particularly sore for the animal. First, before we start sticking needles in, I always do a clinical examination on the animal, just to make sure that we've not missed anything and that we are just going to treat the pain today and that we've got the right diagnosis. Okay, here is a diagram of a dog with some acupuncture points on it. The first point I normally try with any animal, especially if it's new to acupuncture, is this one here. It's a point that most dogs and cats will be used to, having had injections in the past in this area. Then there are some other points along the back which are normally well tolerated in new patients, which can help with sort of back discomfort, lumbosacral pain, and hip pain. Okay, with any animal with hip pain, we always get a shifting of weight, so we are sometimes going to find that we've got pain in the shoulders and the elbows as well, just because we've been sort of dispersing the weight to the front legs. With acupuncture, I always want the client to be present. Animals do get quite anxious when the owner leaves, and it's supposed to be quite a relaxing. Sometimes the animal can become quite sedated, so I don't want him to get anxious or upset. So Julie, his owner, is here with us today. Okay, so I've done my clinical examination already on Dodger, and I found that there's nothing else abnormal other than a bit of stiffness in the lumbosacral area and in his hips. So he's a perfect candidate for some acupuncture today. Okay, this is the first point that I would normally try in an animal that hasn't had acupuncture before, just to see how well he's going to tolerate it. Now he needs to sit up, I'm afraid. Dodger, up! And in goes the needle. Okay, he hasn't reacted, that's good. That is good. Okay, so he's tolerating that nicely. That needle can sit there for a few minutes, just while it does its thing. Okay, and he lies down. No, don't roll over. Don't roll over. Okay, so that's a nice one to start with. Lumbosacral pain, hip pain, from arthritis, it's chronic, so he's going to be feeling discomfort pretty much all the time, particularly when he first gets up in the morning. So I'm going to pop a couple of needles just into the muscles along his back here, just to see if we can release some of that pain. Good boy. There's that. And as you can see, Dodger's tolerating this very well. Some animals become quite sedated after having some acupuncture. About 20% of them will. So we, I'm not overly surprised if they want to sort of lie down and have a little snooze. It's fine, so long as this isn't a painful. You don't get a painful response. It's all right. It's all right. Just lie down. So I'll put these needles in, and then I will leave them for 10 to 20 minutes, just depending on how he's going to tolerate them, and whether he'll lie down for me and stay still, which is the main thing with Dodger. That's very good. Yes, you are. So one of the points of acupuncture, obviously, is we're trying to minimise the need for medication, for drug pain relief. Animals can get quite, like I said, quite sedated on it. They can also feel amazing afterwards. They can go home and they can be bringing toys. They can be wanting to go for walks. They can be doing all sorts of new things that the owner hasn't seen them do for years. The reason for that is that it's also stimulating the limbic system, which is the part of the brain that governs emotion and how we feel about things. And it can make you feel really good. It releases endorphins and makes you feel less down about your pain, which is one of the main purposes of it. Cats, dogs, horses, farm animals, even rabbits, tortoises can have acupuncture. So it's really quite good and varied. Wide range of species can have it. And look, he's come back for more. Good boy. Okay, so 10-20 minutes has lapsed now. He's been very good. You can see he's getting a little bit sleepier now. So I think what we'll do, the needles have done what I want them to do today. So I'm going to take them out, and we're gonna see how he goes for the next few days. Julie will let me know how he's been getting on and that sort of thing, and then we'll see him in about a week.